Liverpool have just become the most feared team in the Premier League, and it's all because of Alexander Isak, the striker who gave Van Dijk nightmares, left Everton defenders spinning in circles. He's not just completing the puzzle, he's rewriting the entire game. This isn't just another blockbuster transfer, it's the most significant shift in football's power structure, Liverpool's ascension to European dominance. This is why the Premier League must fear Liverpool signing Alexander Isak. Let me be crystal clear, this isn't just another transfer story to glance at during your coffee break. This represents a massive shift in the power structure of English football. Alexander Isak joining Liverpool under Arne Slot isn't merely a smart acquisition, it's a revolution. It's the type of signing that compels rival clubs to reconsider everything from their recruitment philosophy to their tactical setup. Because what Liverpool have secured here isn't simply a goal scorer. They've obtained the crucial component of a strategic masterpiece, the missing element they may not have desperately needed, but instinctively understood they must possess. Isak isn't media buzz, he's chaos incarnate. The Premier League has already experienced his impact. 23 goals across 34 Premier League appearances last season. Not inflated statistics, not merely spot kicks or meaningless strikes. These were precise momentum-changing goals, netted from wide positions, from tight angles in the penalty area, from deep zones where no forward should realistically pose a threat. His finishing accuracy reached nearly 60%. His non-penalty expected goals per 90 minutes placed him among the elite 1% of Premier League attackers. This transcends temporary form. This represents a striker who's mastered how to manipulate the game's fundamentals, how to shatter football's conventional wisdom. He manufactures opportunities from nothing. He weaves like a wide player, operates like an attacking midfielder, and converts like an elite number 9. But here's what makes this truly terrifying. Liverpool won't deploy him the way Newcastle did. Newcastle treated him like a precious asset, an exquisite centerpiece within an otherwise industrious setup. Arne Slot intends to transform him into a weapon. He plans to channel that finesse, that versatility, that unpredictability through the core of a framework designed for speed, width, and relentless motion. Visualize this: Florian Wirtz operating in the left half space, Salah dominating his trademark right flank, Frimpong surging down the touchline and threading through it all, Isak drifting, vanishing, exploiting gaps, creating numerical advantages, manipulating defenders, linking play, and converting chances. You don't need to stretch your imagination because he's already demonstrated this at Newcastle. Examine the evidence, study the footage, finishes from crosses, close range completions at the back post, delicate lifts over elite goalkeepers, gliding through defensive structures like he's moving through mist. This represents a player who transforms whatever challenge you present, physical pressure, tight marking, difficult angles, and turns it to his advantage. And when you integrate him into Slot's framework, where positional switches are perpetual, where the central striker doesn't merely finish but orchestrates, links, and dominates, Isak becomes devastating. He doesn't simply occupy the penalty area, he commands it, yet he still provides that lateral movement, that combination play, that technical brilliance. It's like observing a 6'4" Thierry Henry replica who developed in Spanish football and evolved within Premier League intensity. He embodies contradiction, elegant yet ruthless, composed yet explosive, and when you consider he was achieving this within a Newcastle team that saw less possession, received fewer quality passes, and shouldered greater defensive responsibilities, you begin to comprehend why placing him in Liverpool's possession-heavy, service-rich system appears almost unjust. This explains why the Premier League should be genuinely concerned, because Liverpool have moved beyond simply pursuing talent. They're constructing a dynasty, and within that dynasty, Isak isn't merely another component, he's the central engine. Liverpool have always possessed a special relationship with the center forward position. Not just any striker, not the poacher, not the showboat finisher, but the ones who shape generations. Forwards who don't simply find the net, but burn their legacy into the club's soul. From Ian Rush's clinical precision, to Kenny Dalglish's elegance, from Michael Owen's Ballon d'Or excellence, to the brilliant madness of Luis Suarez, the Anfield tradition of number 9s isn't merely history, it's sacred doctrine. Each era had its icon, and for an extended period following Suarez's departure, that throne remained vacant, not because Firmino failed to excel. He flourished in his unique manner as the linking force, a false 9 who revolutionized the position. But he wasn't the assassin, he served as the creator, the connector, the heartbeat of Klopp's offensive machine. What he lacked was the ability to strike fear into defenders' hearts. Then arrived Darwin Núñez, a promising revival, strength, velocity, physical presence, everything Liverpool believed they required. But the issue wasn't Darwin's technical ability, it was his decision-making. The inconsistency proved maddening, not menacing. You couldn't predict whether he'd blast it into the top corner or send it sailing into the stands. And Slot, he's not someone who gambles on uncertainty. He demands reliability, organization, not question marks. Núñez's unrefined nature, even Gakpo's versatility, neither truly sees that role. Liverpool remained a championship-winning squad built around a winger and a system that exceeded expectations, but a gap persisted, and tradition abhors vacuums. Now focus on Isak, a player who, through one acquisition, rebuilds Liverpool's connection with a heritage that has always distinguished them at their most formidable. Because Alexander Isak transcends being merely a striker, he represents a declaration. He's the caliber of talent Real Madrid typically pursue. He looks like one who combines Barcelona's technical DNA with Premier League toughness. He's a 6'4" artist possessing composure, skill, and sophistication. He moves like a specter, weaves like a winger, and scores as if he's discovered hidden codes. And unlike Darwin, Isak understands his role. He doesn't seek validation from others, he commands it. Study the evidence. Watch him humiliate world-class defenders. Van Dijk, Van der Ven, and even Saliba, reduced to looking ordinary in direct confrontation. Watch him materialize in crucial areas as if transported there. Observe the precise finishes, the intelligent runs, the positioning between center halves. See the composed completions, the instinctive responses, the Thierry Henry-esque curled efforts. This extends beyond mere talent, it's ingrained in excellence. This represents a striker who thrives under pressure, and that's what Liverpool's heritage has always demanded. Someone who doesn't falter when Anfield expects magic. The greatest Liverpool teams didn't merely compete, they commanded, and they achieved this with exceptional number 9s, genuine ones. Ruthless finishers possessing vision and killer instinct. That's why Isak fits like destiny. He's not simply the latest striker, he's the restoration of a noble lineage. And if the speculation proves accurate, if Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards are truly pursuing this with unprecedented determination from FSG, then this transcends mere reconstruction. This represents renaissance. Liverpool don't simply want victory, they want to rebuild the empire. Arne Slot didn't arrive at Anfield to simply polish what Klopp created. He came to architect something entirely new. What he's engineering represents controlled aggression with systematic precision, dominance through discipline, lightning fast, high-intensity football. But every touch, every sprint, every tactical rotation must serve a greater purpose. Calculated chaos. It's insufficient to merely win the ball back. You must dictate what happens in the aftermath. And this is precisely where Isak becomes the ultimate catalyst. Because within Slot's philosophy, the central striker transcends goal-scoring duties. He becomes the orchestrator, a tempo setter, and game changer simultaneously. Observe Liverpool under Slot's guidance. The 4-2-3-1 formation that transforms into a 3-2-5 during possession phases, where the striker pulls center backs out of position, creates numerical superiority in wide areas, opens passing channels for the attacking midfielder and wingers. It's tactical chess. Each piece movement activates the next sequence. Now insert Isak into this equation. Isak operates nothing like a traditional center forward. He retreats to collect possession, turns with the ball under pressure, releases teammates into space, then explodes forward like lightning striking. His capacity to withdraw deep like Firmino, link play like Benzema, and finish like Haaland creates the tactical hybrid Slot has been dreaming of. But unlike Firmino, who created opportunities without consistently converting, Isak delivers both elements. Consider the statistics. 23 goals across 34 appearances in 2024-25, exceeding his expected goals by significant margins. Not merely productive, but ruthlessly efficient. 59.46% shooting accuracy with 0.75 goals per 90 minutes. That's not standard, that's world-class territory. 34 touches per game in opposition penalty areas. Elite level among Premier League forwards. Multiple 6-yard box conversions. Precisely the central penetration Liverpool's attack previously lacked. Slot's Liverpool struggled not from creative deficiency, but from clinical finishing. Darwin Núñez consistently underperformed his expected goals metrics. The intelligent movement existed, but the decisive touch was absent. Their heat map showed devastating threat from wide positions, while the center remained relatively quiet. Salah shouldered the entire scoring burden. Now envision the transformation with Isak. Instantly, the central zones become lethal. Suddenly, Salah's workload decreases significantly. Immediately, Florian Wirtz gains an elite target for his creative passes. Every cross from Frimpong, every through ball from McAllister, every recycled possession from Gravenberch now has a world-class finisher positioned perfectly. Isac also provides Slot with tactical fluidity to modify formations mid-match, shifting from 4-2-3-1 to 3-4-3, deploying Isac wide to create isolated duels, positioning Isac centrally to anchor defensive blocks, having Isac drop deep to unleash Frimpong's overlapping runs. This isn't about 11 players following instructions, it's about 11 players understanding where decisive moments are manufactured, and those moments ignite when Isac receives possession. Defenders despise facing him. Despite standing 6'4", he maneuvers like someone half that height. He stretches defensive lines, drags center backs into uncomfortable positions, then cuts inside with devastating effect. Just examine Van Dijk's struggles in recent encounters. Isak doesn't simply run past opponents, he mentally dismantles them. Slot demands rapid transitions, sharp vertical progression from defensive recovery to final third penetration. Isak excels in these scenarios. Recall his strike against Everton, collects possession near the touchline, shrugs off multiple challenges, glides past another defender, creates the assist. Goal. That's not methodical buildup, that's individual brilliance creating team success. Even his positional awareness without the ball proves exceptional. Study how he appears behind fullbacks during crossing sequences. Consider his goal versus Aston Villa. Hall delivers a low cross. Isak delays his run, waits, then materializes in the perfect spot. Simple finish. He repeats this pattern consistently because elite movement combines timing with deception, and Slot will maximize every aspect. Isak becomes the focal point of attack. He won't merely score goals, he will provide structure to Liverpool's entire offensive system. This differs completely from Haaland at City, where the tactical framework generates chances and the striker converts them. Isak integrates within the system. He doesn't wait for service. He influences the game's flow, drops deep, drifts wide, then attacks the penalty area. He creates the gravitational pull around which the team operates. It's precisely what Darwin Núñez was intended to become. And the beauty? Isak requires no adaptation period. His skill set already matches this intensity. He's been executing these patterns for multiple seasons. Newcastle employed similar principles, attacking fullbacks, inside forwards, vertical midfield carries, and Isak served as the catalyst for everything. This represents zero risk. This is tactical perfection. Picture this scenario. What occurs when a team that just won the Premier League title acquires a 23-goal striker who maneuvers like a winger, converts like a predator, and presses like a midfielder? You don't simply improve, you transcend into a different stratosphere. Isak represents the final element Liverpool never truly required, but pursued nonetheless. They already possessed Salah, the offensive catalyst, goals, pressure, championship pedigree, Florian Wirtz, the creative mastermind, vision, precision, game-changing ability, McAllister, the tempo controller, rhythm, distribution, tactical intelligence. Now Isak arrives as the decisive component, the ultimate piece, the addition that transforms this squad from formidable to absolutely terrifying, and the Premier League has legitimate reasons for concern. United? The comparison becomes almost embarrassing. While Liverpool methodically secured elite talent across multiple positions and pursued world-class additions like Isac, United continues struggling to determine their attacking identity. The gap has become a chasm. This represents a Liverpool machine operating without restraint. They're functioning like an organization possessed, a club liberated from financial constraints and unburdened by conventional thinking. They've evolved from careful spending to complete domination. Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards have abandoned conservative player trading. They're assembling footballing perfection, and the most frightening aspect, their business remains unfinished, and you can sense the growing anxiety because everyone recognizes what's approaching. Isak transcends being merely a striker. He embodies the archetype that has historically devastated English football, the Suarez blueprint: unpredictable, unpredictable, relentless, sophisticated yet ruthless, and the evidence supports this assessment. 8 goals in 6 consecutive December matches. Newcastle hadn't witnessed such consistency since Alan Shearer's prime. 6 assists and multiple close-range finishes in games where he touched possession fewer than 40 times. Plus 2.7 goals above expected goals, representing create-your-own opportunities level production. No defensive system can neutralize that capability. No defensive block can diminish that cutting edge. No tactical trap can prevent it when defenders lose concentration momentarily. Slot's Liverpool are constructing toward dual objectives: a team that dominates matches for 75 minutes, a team requiring only brief explosive periods to transform close contests into commanding victories. Isac serves as the instrument for both scenarios. When opponents deploy deep defensive blocks, he becomes the clinical finisher, anticipating rebounds, manipulating defenders into vulnerable positions. He provides Liverpool everything Nunez couldn't deliver: the ruthless efficiency of Haaland, the technical mastery of Kane, the psychological impact of Suarez, all combined within one player. And when this acquisition materializes, the remaining league participants face one option: form alliances. Like a conquering force, Liverpool aren't simply winning, they're reshaping football's landscape according to their vision. And without collective resistance, the outcome becomes inevitable. Consider the psychological warfare. Opposing managers will need to devise entirely new strategies. Defensive coordinators must reconsider their fundamental approaches. Squad builders will question their recruitment philosophy, because Liverpool haven't just signed a player, they've weaponized perfection. The ripple effects will be immediate and devastating. Young strikers will study Isak's movement patterns. Coaches will analyze Liverpool's attacking sequences. Fans will witness a level of offensive coordination previously reserved for highlight reels becoming routine reality. The nightmare isn't approaching, it has arrived. So now you understand the complete picture. Alexander Isak isn't just another expensive acquisition. He's a systematic solution, a tactical revolution, and a statement of absolute intent. If this analysis opened your eyes to why this transfer changes everything, smash that like button, subscribe for more tactical breakdowns, and hit the notification bell because you won't want to miss what happens next in this unprecedented transfer saga.